Turning to your statement this morning, you talked about looking at our future threats and challenges and why the Department of Defense is rebalancing its resources toward the Asia-Pacific region. And of course, this kind of rebalance is critically important to Hawaii in our forward position in the Pacific. Would you expand as to why and what particular economic or national security factors come into play as we rebalance to the Asia-Pacific region?
Senator, you know better than most your region and its importance and why it will continue to be important to the world, but certainly to the United States. As I noted in my opening statement, and you know, we have always been a Pacific power. We have been a Pacific power because we have clear economic interests there. We have diplomatic security interests there. We have strong allies there. I mentioned some of them in my opening statement. When we look at the growth of economies, we look at trade growth, we look at population growth, the rise of China, but not just China, but that entire Asia-Pacific region. We need to stay relevant to opportunities as well as challenges in all areas, but in particular the areas that we see as emerging as to the largest, most significant economic security issues and challenges and opportunities. It's appropriate that any nation rebalance assets. You have to be relevant to the times, to the shifts, the changes. Our world today is totally different than it was 12 years ago. Our force structure is being refit, and we are looking at a far more agile, flexible force structure as our economies are becoming more agile and flexible. So for all those reasons and more, that's why we are doing what I think is exactly the right thing to do. It doesn't mean, as I said in my opening statement, that we are abandoning anybody or any part of the world. We can't.
Senator, and as we live in times of budget constraints, will you commit to keeping me and this committee informed as you develop the strategies and contemplate force posture adjustments that go along with this kind of rebalancing?
Yes, and I look forward to it.
I am very heartened by your perspective, turning to another question, that you always ask the question, is the policy working worthy of the men and women that we send into battle and possibly to their deaths? So I am very heartened by that kind of perspective from someone who served our country. What will be your top priorities as you look to care for the men and women in uniform and their families?
Well, as I said in my opening statement, the welfare, the safety, the success of our men and women in uniform is my top priority, has been and will continue to be, and their families.
Do you have any specific programmatic ways that you will reflect that?
Well, first, to implement the law. We have a number of new laws, policies that are in the process of being implemented. We've spoken about some here today, and I will assure, if confirmed, that we do that. And as I said in my opening statement, we will assure that every military man and woman and their families are given exactly the same opportunities and rights as each other and all members of the armed forces.